Ladies and gentlemen, the inflation in the United Kingdom increased from 3.6 to 3.8 after cutting interest rate by Bank of England. That means the situation is no good. The situation at the moment in the United Kingdom is going in a bad direction. The Bank of England cut means that the interest rate in the United Kingdom is now 4% from 4.25. However, inflation is rising. Now inflation is 3.8. So it is only 0.2 less than the interest rate. That means for keeping British pound in British banks, you will get less than the official inflation in the United Kingdom. Well, the inflation increased after the cut by Bank of England. What does it mean? Was that a bad decision? Well, how on earth anybody with a brain want to keep British pound now if inflation in France is 1%? But inflation in United Kingdom is 3.8. How on earth the British pound can go up? How on earth the British pound can keep its value? What is happening in United Kingdom is very strange. Because they've got very low interest rate but very high inflation rate. They're supposed to keep higher interest rate than inflation rate to keep this pound's value. What will happen in next 2-3 months will set what will happen in next few years. As in inflation is very important factor of the UK economy. If the inflation is very high, then the interest rate must be very high. If inflation is decreasing, then you can gradually decrease interest rate. But now it is opposite. The inflation rate is rising, but the interest rate is decreasing. That means they are meeting now. 4% Bank of England interest rate doesn't mean that you will get 4% for your money in the bank. You will get less, much less minus taxes. So the British pound is getting worthless. British pound at the moment is losing and losing not only to Swiss franc, to US dollar, to euro, to Czech Republic, to Thai baht or Chinese yuan. The British pound is also losing now to itself, to its own economy. As you must give more and more for food, for everything else. And now we've got summer. During summer, food is cheap. During summer, you don't need to use gas and electricity. But soon, the winter will come. Well, the winter in the United Kingdom is not so harsh as in Europe, where winter can be minus 20 Celsius, minus 25, minus 15, minus 10 is normal, minus 5 is normal. In the United Kingdom, the winter is really weak. However, the United Kingdom is a very wet country. So you must use electricity. If you don't use electricity, mold and damp will go on in your house. So you have to heat your house because you will get mold. This is how it is. Very high inflation during summer means disaster, as this inflation in next few months can be even higher due to the fact of high cost of electricity and gas. What will happen? We will see. And by this what we will see, we can actually see what will happen in following years. If this will proceed, if this situation with high inflation and low interest rate will proceed, that means the British pound sooner or later probably will be less than 1 Swiss franc. So that means for 1000 British pounds you will get, let's say, 999 Swiss francs. It already happened. Once, 1 British pound was 5 Swiss francs, then it went down to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 franc. Now, sooner or later, it will go down the same direction as Canadian dollar, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. The same direction. What direction is it? Well, 0.5 francs for each dollar. Australian, New Zealand, and Canadian dollar is oscillating on the level of around the level of 0.5, 0.6 Swiss francs per one. Once 1 Swiss franc was 2 Australian dollars. Today, 1 Australian dollar is 0.5 francs. So that means you have to give $2 for each franc. Can you imagine that? Well, you don't have to. You don't have to imagine that. This is what is happening. You don't have to imagine. These are not dreams. This is not foreseeable future. This is not forecasting. This is reality. This is happening now. And probably, if nothing good will happen to the British economy, and if the British economy will go direction that been going for last 50 years, not for last 5 years after Brexit, not for last 10 years when many Europeans came to the United Kingdom to work, no, not 30 years ago when the British joined the European Union. Actually, British were worst off before joining the European Union. It didn't happen 50 years ago. It's been happening for last 100 years. The British, they were on very high level. Now they are going down because the world is tuning up. The world used to be poor. The world is still poor. The world is still not rich. And if you are not rich, if you are poor, you want to be rich. And it is not stoppable. You can't stop it anymore. You can't stop it anymore. There is only one direction. There are no factors, no information, no evidence on earth and sky that this direction will revert. You can't revert river using a stick. You can't revert river by talking. River will go the direction that it is destined to go. This is what is happening with the British pound now. Probably we are now looking at the final stage of the British pound. The final stage as a world currency, as a reserve currency. Actually, it happened already. But still, by the hard work that British put before, still, some people, some countries, some finance people, some economists still believe what used to be. But this is not reality anymore. And this is what we see now. This is what we see now. That the inflation rate is higher than the interest rate. The official inflation rate in the United Kingdom is higher than the official interest rate in banks. Minus taxes. Please subscribe my channel. I hope you like it. I hope you leave some comment. I hope you share it. Thank you very much and good luck.